we got in at a decent hour last night, so it wasn't too late for us. And just going through the normal routines is on a game day and getting ready for Dallas tonight.
Last night you learned what happens when you control the puck, take care of the puck well, and again, play your game. Is that because of what you're doing well, or was Toronto giving you some things? I mean, does it totally dictated by your game, or can it be dictated by opponents?
That's why you play opponents. I think it goes both ways. We were able to find our game and able to play our game. They had some opportunities in playing their game. They're a rush team. They're a talented group. They play fast. Their defensemen are ready to skate. And if you don't manage it and you get into this track meet going up and down the ice, that plays to their strength. And what we needed to do was dump pucks and get into the zone and forecheck and play more of a zone game. And because we feel that would benefit us, and I think it did. We were able to grind it down a little bit and play in their zone and eventually break them down and score a couple goals.
Which leads into tonight. A similar opponent, or what do you see tonight?
First time seeing them this year, but just the information that I've gathered just from watching and talking to other people is probably a little bit like Toronto. Skill up front, a lot of speed. Defensemen want to join the rush and get up in the play. So a lot of the same things that we talked about versus Toronto, and a team that's fighting desperately for points. Going back and looking at past records in this building and past records against Columbus, I don't think there's a discomfort level coming into Nationwide and playing. And we need to go out and try to get them a little uncomfortable in this building. Play hard, get the crowd going a little bit, and hopefully find our game.
A thought on Artie, I know we talked about it last night, but on his play and where the improvement has come from, maybe in your opinion?
I'm not sure where, if there's one spot where you can say where his game has come from. Some of it might be just confidence in playing for the Russian team in the Olympics. Again, I'm not sure how much all of that weighed on certain individuals. It was leading up to the Olympics, something that was on everyone's mind, and it could have been a distraction. But I think since it's been over with, I think confidence probably coming from that, and then maybe just a relaxation and getting back into his game. But he's been terrific. And it's not that he was bad in any way leading up to it, but to me, he's gotten his game to another level, and a guy that you trust in every situation because he's a smart player, responsible player, but he's also got the talent, and we're seeing that.
Ryan Murray.
Day to day.
Lower body or
lower body.
It looked like he wrenched his knee or his ankle just along the board.
Lower body, day to day.
But not season ending?
Lower body, day to day.
Okay.
So you expect to have him back at some point during this stretch run?
Yes.
Cody is in? Cody Golubeck?
Right now, yes.
Will it call anybody else up, or will it be Cody?
No, nobody's getting called up right now.
Coach, it's only 3 games, but Dalton probably looked like a bit of a different player, more confident maybe?
I think he's been a better player since he's come back from Springfield. And the reason for him going to Springfield was to play and get some experience and get some confidence. So I think he's found that, and some of it too is with his confidence, and I think how he's playing is how the team is playing too. As a team, when you're playing well, it's easier for individuals to get confidence and find their games because the game isn't as scrambly, because the team game is more sound. And because of that, I think it does help his game, but he's been much better. He's playing the way that he needs to. He's a big, strong kid, and he needs to play with a little bit of an edge, and he's been doing that. And obviously it was great seeing him score the goal. And, we talked about it last night, too. You asked me the question about just the reaction of the guys. And that tells a lot, how other guys react when something good happens to a player. And it's easy to see that I think Dalton's a likable guy in the room.
A little wary going forward with maybe 2 of your better defensive defensemen out of the lineup in Tootin and Murray.
We have no choice. No choice. What are we going to do? We can't sit and get scared and get worried. We got to dig in, and we got to find a way. It means everybody. And I thought with Tootin going out, one guy who we needed to really solidify his game was James Wisniewski. And I thought he did that last night. I thought it's one of his better games. And I know he didn't show up on the score sheet, but he was a guy that went back into corners hard for pucks, won battles. He had a really big block shot in the final seconds of the game. So that's what we need from him, and we're going to need it from David Savard and Dalton Prout. And Jack's been a great player for us, for a good amount of time here. And now we're missing two guys, and Cody's going to have to go in, and he's going to have to provide some solid minutes for us. But we have no choice. There's no choice. And the other way that we can help ourselves when you're dealing with injuries and guys being out of the lineup is, our forwards need to do a job too. Forecheck, win battles, play in the offensive zone, and take some pressure off of our defense.
Is it possible maybe Tootin comes back next week, or Murray for that matter? I mean, do you expect to be without both of them?
It's tough to say right now. It's tough for me to say. Toots is out skating on his own right now, which is a good sign. As I said, Ryan's day-to-day, and obviously as we move further along here, we'll probably get more information, and then we'll be able to make a better assessment as far as when either guy's expected back.
Your goalie tonight?
Bob's going to play.
Have you had additional demands on your time with the trade deadline coming up tomorrow? I mean, you're a guy who saw all these high-quality players as a member of the Team USA Olympic coaching roster. You obviously got the pulse of this team. Have you had anyone ask your input, any additional demands on your time?
You know what, John and Yarmo and Bill and Chris McFarland are all great as far as seeking out opinions and asking questions, and try to gather the most information that they can if a decision is going to be made. The other thing that they allow us to do is to do our job and what we need to focus on. I think they know where we're at and what's going on with our schedule. I'm talking just playing games. That it's kind of tough. You got back-to-back games leading up to it, and you got a game right afterwards. So a lot of our time has been devoted to getting our players ready for these games, and that's where my focus is.
You see Curtis getting in maybe on the road trip here coming up?
He's going to have to play. He's going to have to play. And to be honest with you, I think going into last night, I was probably leaning a little bit more towards Curtis playing tonight. But the way the game went, maybe the first period Bob had some action. Second period there really wasn't much, and then third period right at the end. So we came out of the game thinking, he's energy-wise, he should be good, and he was able to get into his routine after the game. And we were able to get out of the rink early and get here at a decent hour. So that was a reason for it. But eventually, yeah. I mean, we're playing 6 games in 9 days here. And that's a lot to ask of one guy playing that position. So we're going to need both.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've seen Sergei play with a compressed schedule. In fact, some of your best hockey you've seen from him came during that time span when he was playing quite a bit in a short period of time.
Yeah. Well, we still have 20 games left, 6 and 9. There's still plenty of games to play afterwards. And, the one thing you also have to be concerned about is just using somebody too much where their body starts to break down, and now you're asking for trouble. So we just have to be smart in how we do it. And again, Curtis has proven that he can play and that he can win games, and he's a solid guy to put in there. He's another great option. So, right now we feel Bob is good to go tonight, and then we'll make a decision going into Thursday.